Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 87th Medical Group Reorganization Ceremony. I am Major Renee Pushler from the 87th Aerospace Medicine Squadron.
And I am Staff Sergeant Annie Babineau from the 87th Dental Squadron, and we will be your narrators for this morning's ceremony. After careful deliberation, the Secretary of the Air Force and the Air Force Chief of Staff directed the Air Force Surgeon General to reform the Air Force Medical Service through an organizational restructure. The new structure drives a focus on operational medical readiness and improves our ability to rapidly restore the readiness, deployability, lethality of the Joint Base. During today's ceremony, you will observe both a unit deactivation and a redesignation ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presenting of the colors by the Medical Group Honor Guard, the singing of our national anthem by Airman First Class Monica Ajen Frempong, and the invocation by Chaplain Major Gregory Ellis.
Host the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please join with me in prayer. God, you are great and greatly to be praised. In this momentous day for the life of the men and women of the 87th Medical Group, we remember a long, stellar tradition of providing care with competence, skill, and compassion to service members and families. We look forward to blazing a new trail, improving methods, blazing a trail to take care of the warfighters and their families. As we journey forward, let your hand be upon us, that we might be sharper, more vigilant, enabling lethality. We pray, Lord, that you would equip us to defend our great nation, past, present, and future. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Airman Ajen Frempong and Chaplain Ellis. Please be seated.
At this time, please join me in welcoming our honored guests and distinguished visitors who have joined us today. Our presiding officer for today's ceremony, the Commander, 87th Medical Group, Colonel Jason Lennon, and his wife, Christine. The Commander, Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst in the 87th Air Base Wing, Colonel Neil Richardson. The Command Chief, 87th Air Base Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Bill Fitch. The Commander, 87th Dental Squadron, Colonel Clifton Bailey, and his wife Kristen, and his children Sabrina and Luke. The Commander, 87th Medical Operations Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Stacy Friesen, and her husband Jeff. The Commander, 87th Aerospace Medicine Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Kipp, his wife Heather, and his children Roy and Liam. The Commander, 514th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Thomas Pemberton. The Director, Naval Branch Health Clinics, Commander Marjorie Witzka. Representing the Commander, 174th Infantry Brigade, the Commander, 174th Infantry Battalion, Major Fidel Savino. We are also privileged to have in attendance today commanders and senior enlisted leaders from across the Joint Base, honorary commanders, and special guests. Thank you all for attending. Starting today's events will be the deactivation of the 87th Dental Squadron.
The importance of dental readiness has roots going back to the founding of our nation with General George Washington. Throughout the American Revolution, he was plagued with dental issues and required treatment from civilian dentists, as military dentistry hadn't evolved yet. It wasn't until the Civil War that our nation began to see dentists associated with the military. The South saw the importance of dental readiness and conscripted dentists into their service. Concurrently, in 1864, the American Dental Association sent representatives to Washington, D.C. to petition President Lincoln to help soldiers that were missing that required 6 teeth necessary to serve in the Union Army. By 1901, the Army had a dental corps, but it was made up of all civilian contract dentists. Finally, 10 years later, the Army Dental Officer Corps arrived with the commissioning of dentists as first lieutenants. On September 18, 1947, the United States Air Force was established, and soon after, in June 1949, the Air Force Dental Service was created as a component of the Air Force Medical Service. For the last 72 years, we have continued to fulfill our mission of providing oral health to joint services and total force personnel worldwide. We ensure the warfighters' dental readiness so they can take the fight to the enemy.
Locally, our dental team was originally part of the 305th Medical Group, 305th Air Mobility Wing, McGuire Air Force Base. However, as a result of the creation of Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst and establishment of the 87th Air Base Wing, the 87th Dental Squadron was activated on March 3, 2009. Since that day, the squadron has had 6 commanders and has been recognized with the Air Force Outstanding Unit 7 times. The motto of the 87th Dental Squadron, Ado Morasupunya, means bringing the bite to the fight, and we make it happen every day. The 87th Dental Squadron team has the unique challenge of being the sole dental facility on the Department of Defense's only tri-service joint base. Our Air Force team provides dental care to all services, including Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, the Coast Guard, and our total force brothers and sisters. Dental readiness is our business, and our business is good. We are committed to the readiness of our population and the health of our community. Whether it's boosting the installation's dental readiness rate to its highest in 10 years, educating our Joint Base youth during Children's Dental Health Month, or providing oral health education at various events across the installation, our team achieves excellence. In 2017, we won the Air Force Medium Dental Clinic of the Year award. From its beginnings with the 305th into the future with the 87th Operational Medical Readiness Squadron, our team will always provide the best dental care in the Air Force to the best population in the Department of Defense.
Colonel Bailey, please come forward and address your squadron for the last time.
Good morning. This is a little bittersweet. I'm going to go off script here just briefly, but Airman Apong, amazing job. She's dental. Wherever they went to, they're dental. Cousin Babineau's dental. Good morning. As Bob Dylan wrote and sang in 1967, the times, they are changing. This is especially true for the Air Force Medical Service right now. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out this morning to help us mark the start of a new beginning. Colonel Richardson, Colonel Lennon, I want to thank you for the opportunity to lead the amazing group of active duty and civilian airmen of the 87th Dental Squadron. To my fellow Med Group Squadron Commanders, Mark, I saw you back there somewhere, Rich, Stacy, thank you for the cross-squadron support, say that fast 3 times, and for your friendship. I couldn't have asked for a better group of fellow commanders. It's been great. Kristen, Sabrina, Luke, thank you for being an amazing military family. You are my rock and my firm foundation. Thank you. To the men and women of the 87th Dental Squadron, it has been a true honor being your commander. But I am not here to say goodbye because I'm not going anywhere. The dental clinic is not going anywhere. Come Monday, we will be right back where we have been for the past decade, crushing the mission and keeping the Joint Base population ready to go. Over the past decade, the Dental Squadron has performed over 500,000 procedures for more than 100,000 patient visits, producing over $50 million. And we, the current members of the 87th Dental Squadron, kept building on the foundation of those who came before us. This past year, we saw more patients, performed more procedures, and outproduced our previous best year by over $200,000. Your incredible work this past year culminated in our best readiness numbers we've seen in 10 years. We are not going anywhere. But what really makes this group special is the stuff that's not so easy to put down in decorations and in performance reports. My team genuinely cares for each other. They genuinely care about our patients. Members of the 87th Dental Squadron, please stand up. Come on. All right, stay standing. All right. These dedicated, hardworking, selfless people create an outstanding work environment, and I am incredibly proud to have been your commander. This is not the last time you will hear about the dental clinic. We will continue to bring the bite to the fight. Outside of the world-class dental care that we bring to our patients, our chant is probably the thing the Dental Squadron is most widely known for. And this is not the last time you will hear our chant. I know you will hear our chant while we are winning squadron, group, and wing level awards, because that's how great my team is. So, if you will indulge me one last time as a Dental Squadron, for those of you outside the 87th Dental Squadron, for those of you who know it, please join in. One last time as the 87th Dental Squadron. Without teeth,
you suck!
At this time, we kindly ask Colonel Lennon and Senior Master Sergeant Petrie to join Colonel Bailey at the center of the stage. Please stand for the deactivation of the 87th Dental Squadron.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Special Order GAA 1-5 by order of the Secretary of the Air Force, the 87th Dental Squadron at Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst, New Jersey, is deactivated effective 11 July 2019. Please be seated.
Sir, I relinquish command.
The flag will be furled, representing the deactivation of the squadron.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will now witness the redesignation of the 87th Aerospace Medicine Squadron and 87th Medical Operations Squadron. The redesignation will align functions directly supporting Total Force Operational Medical Support into a single Operational Medical Readiness Squadron in order to ensure the medical readiness of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, and Marines by providing human performance, enhancement, sustainment, and recovery. Lieutenant Colonel Kipp and Lieutenant Colonel Friesen will maintain their squadrons respectively. This ceremony signifies the transition into their new squadron missions.
Will Colonel Lennon, Lieutenant Colonel Kipp, Chief Master Sergeant Burgos, Senior Master Sergeant Carroll, and Master Sergeant Gonzalez please come to the center of the stage? We will now redesignate the 87th Aerospace Medicine Squadron as the 87th Operational Medical Readiness Squadron. Please stand for the official orders and ceremonial redesignation.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Special Order GAA 1-5 by order of the Secretary of the Air Force, the 87th Aerospace Medicine Squadron at Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst is redesignated as the 87th Operational Medical Readiness Squadron effective 11 July 2019 with no change in assignment. Please be seated.
The flag will now be furled, representing the transition of the 87th Aerospace Medicine Squadron.
The 87th Operational Medical Readiness Squadron flag will now be unfurled, signifying that the squadron is now redesignated.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will now witness the redesignation of the 87th Medical Operations Squadron as the 87th Healthcare Operations Squadron. This redesignation will consolidate the delivery of non-total force primary care for our military spouses, children, and retirees into one squadron in order to optimize healthcare dedicated to their unique needs. Will Lieutenant Colonel Friesen, Senior Master Sergeant Varner, and Master Sergeant Gonzalez please join Colonel Lennon and Chief Master Sergeant Burgos at the center of the stage?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Special Order GAA 1-5 by order of the Secretary of the Air Force, the 87th Medical Operations Squadron at Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst is redesignated as the 87th Healthcare Operations Squadron effective 11 July 2019 with no change in assignment. Please be seated.
The flag will now be furled, representing the transition of the 87th Medical Operations Squadron.
The 87th Healthcare Operations Squadron flag will now be unfurled, signifying that the squadron is now redesignated.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Lennon.
Thank you. You haven't heard what I had to say yet, so I wouldn't start clapping just yet. First, I'd say, wow, what a great ceremony. I mean, this is the first one of these that I've been to, that I've seen. And I know the team did a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes to make this happen. So I'd first like to say thanks to the group that put this together, led by Captain Sarah Torres and Technical Sergeant Brian Falk. Also want to say thanks as well to Airman Jin from Pong, Chaplain Ellis, Captain Rebello, our balcony violinist, and our all-medic honor guard team, as well as our MCs, Major Pushler and Sergeant Babineau. Great job, all. So some of you may be thinking that now that the Dental Squadron's been deactivated, you no longer will hear some of my bad dental jokes. Well, that may be true, but apparently I'm not the only one that has them. I'm going to have a flashback to some of Major Pushler's first comments, and I'm quoting, "The importance of dental readiness has roots." Y'all didn't pick up on that the first time, did you? Where's our endodontist? There she is, yeah. And you only needed 6 teeth to get into the Union Army. Y'all pick up on that? I wonder what, I was thinking, why would that be the case? You have to open the cartridge. Open the cartridge, okay. I was thinking it was less to carry. The dental folks will get that one. Anyway, okay, no more of that. I do want to start with thanks to the families of our command team, Kristen, Sabrina, Luke, Heather, Rory, Liam, Jeff, my wife, Christy, Colton, and Kelby. Being the family of a military commander is tough. It's particularly challenging work, I think, on the family, and I know that each of these members has supported their spouses and our team, and I really appreciate what you've done over the last year. And you're not getting off the hook, Kristen. We're gonna need your support over the next year as well. Colonel Richardson and Chief Fitch, thank you for making this a priority and making the time on your schedules to be here. Sir, my special thanks to you. I know that I took a little extra time from your busy schedule this week as you prepared to step in if I wasn't going to be back from TDY in time. So, as always, thank you for your steadfast support. Colonel Pemberton, Miss Pemberton, you know, our Reserve Wing Commander, another very busy group of individuals. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate your support, sir. My fellow group commanders, I saw Colonel Washington back there. I thought Colonel Green might be in the group as well. There he is. Chief Signs, I think, was somewhere, or at least, no, the Chief didn't make it, but it's a pleasure to work with these gentlemen, group commanders across the Joint Base. I appreciate you all being here. To our valued community partners, Ms. Barone, who's the honorary commander for the dental team, and Mr. Stevenson, our community partners, our Joint Base partners, Commander Witzka from the Navy, Major Sevillano Martin from the Army. We are honored by your presence. This is really a joint effort at this Joint Base, and we appreciate your support. Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard in the narration, we are in the midst of some significant change. In fact, it's the most significant change in the history of military medicine, U.S. military medicine, and certainly for the Air Force Medical Service. What you just witnessed is a milestone in the 87th Medical Group's transformational journey as we adopt, adapt, and advance these critical changes. Military medicine is transforming so that we can optimize the ability to provide medically ready forces and ready medical forces in support of Air Force, Joint, Total Force initiatives, and evolving national security priorities. Things are changing. Put simply, this is all about readiness. Today is about readiness, which is why we're standing up here in OCPs today. At the 87th Medical Group, it's about the readiness of about 400 Air Force medics and 1 Navy corpsman. Thank you, Commander Witzka, for helping us out. To maintain the medical readiness of nearly 8,000 Total Force soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen, and roughly 10,000 family members and retirees. And that's not to mention all the services that we provide to a very large transient population through the Joint Base and the rest of this installation. To do this, we organize into squadrons, the fundamental organizational unit of the Air Force. The squadron is the foundation of our Air Force. It's where we train, equip, develop, and ready our airmen. It's how we group different people under a single commander to accomplish a common mission. As the threats to our nation, environment in which we operate, and resources at our disposal change, how we organize, train, and equip our forces also must change. This is not a sign of failure. I have to emphasize, this is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of evolution. The birth of the independent Air Force in 1947 was largely the result of successful air power during World War II, prior to 1947. We needed to evolve then, we need to evolve now. For the past 2 decades, squadrons in the Air Force medical groups have been organized based primarily on function. For example, primary care for active duty and their family members has been provided in the same family health clinics. While there are benefits to organizing this way, it resulted in a healthcare system that was not ideally suited to deal with the unique medical needs and associated administrative requirements of very different patient populations. With increasing rates of non-mission capable airmen across our force, and the national security imperative to increase the readiness and lethality of that force, our Air Force leaders directed an overhaul of our structure, reorganizing our medical squadrons now instead based on the population served. This new structure drives a focus on proactively managing active duty medical care and will allow us to return service members back to full mission capability faster. Members from the same unit will receive their care from the same medical team, allowing our Joint Base medics to identify trends and tailor our medical services to the unique operational needs of those units. This structure will enable more active engagement, more effective communication between our medical staff and those unit leaders, while also improving the connection of our medics to the missions that we support every day. Today, the Dental Squadron, the Aerospace Medicine Squadron, and elements of the Medical Operations Squadron become one, forming a new operational medical readiness squadron. The Dental Squadron has had a proud history over the past 10 years and 6 commanders. You heard some of that in the narration. I want to extend my special thanks to the squadron's ultimate commander, Colonel Bailey, and its ultimate superintendent, Senior Master Sergeant Petrie, and their families for taking this outstanding team of airmen to the next level. Dental readiness rates for the Joint Base are the highest they've been since the Dental Squadron stood up in 2009. The Dental Squadron was the only one of our 4 squadrons that had always been exclusively dedicated to the readiness of the total force. They know how to do this. Gentlemen, you've done an outstanding job, and I know this is a bittersweet occasion for both of you. While you're giving up titles and some authorities, you're certainly not giving up the responsibility to lead, develop, guide, and mentor our dental professionals. Our team will continue to rely on your leadership. To our dental team, who is standing in the back a little bit earlier, when you look at the name of the Operational Medical Readiness Squadron, the dental readiness you provide with the Joint Base isn't going away, and it will be no less important. So thank you to the dental team for bringing the bite to the fight. Alas, the venerated Aerospace Medicine Squadron is also no longer. They are welcoming new mission partners to the mix, creating tremendous opportunities and synergies in the care of our warfighters. Our aerospace medicine professionals have always been the resident experts on aggressive, tailored operational medicine support to keep the active duty force in the fight. They will now share that expertise with the rest of an all-star team with a singular focus on service member readiness. Team Aerospace, I know you're out there. The success of the Operational Medical Readiness Squadron lies in your hands. You've got the stick, and I know you'll take us far. Finally, the decorated Medical Operations Squadron, a team that has won a number of DoD and Air Force level awards for quality and access to care, among other accolades. Speaking of accolades, those of you that were at ALS last night probably know that 2 of our MDOS airmen took home 3 pieces of hardware. I'm just saying, we have some amazing airmen, and MDOS leads the way. So they've set a very high bar for the new Healthcare Operations Squadron. That said, the new squadron will absolutely pick up where MDOS has left off, providing the Joint Base with an array of medical capabilities that are critical to mission success, including care of our patients with the most complex medical needs. While they won't be providing care to uniformed members directly, they will be integral to their readiness. Active duty members are notorious for not seeking medical care when it might be needed. But they will be the first to call me when their spouse or their child is sick. Family member health is equally important to mission readiness. To the healthcare operations team, you are responsible for our most precious assets, our families, and our retired military heroes. I know you will take excellent care of them. To our valued Joint Base partners and beneficiaries, we will continue to rely on your support. I ask for your patience during this major transition. Implementation of many of these initiatives will be phased in over time, and there may also be a few bumps in the road. Lieutenant General Hogg, our Air Force Surgeon General, said it best. The transformation of the Air Force Medical Service will not happen overnight. It will be a long road filled with tough choices. In the end, though, we will have a stronger AFMS ready and postured to meet the emerging medical requirements for today's and tomorrow's warfighter. I have full trust and confidence in this group of outstanding leaders and our amazing airmen to get us there. It may not be smooth or pretty at times, but we will work tirelessly to get this new structure and our operations right. You all, our beneficiaries, deserve nothing less. The history of the 87th Operational Medical Readiness Squadron and the 87th Healthcare Operations Squadron begins today, along with a new chapter in the story of the 87th Medical Group. Perhaps to the dismay of our wing historian, Mr. Warwick, you out there? There he is. The greatest successes of this medical group are not written in the history books. Rather, they're about to be written by this team of outstanding Joint-Based medics. Med Group team, your excellent work will not be written in books, but it will be in the readiness, health, performance, and lives of all we serve. Let's go write a story for the ages. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Lennon. This concludes today's ceremony. Please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. On behalf of the medical group, thank you for attending this historic event. Please join us to the left of the stage for our reception.